It looks like we have a U.S. Army soldier here that's trying to blow the whistle on Fort Hood that has been highly controversial. Now, this is one account, as some things have been leaked over the internet, and some of them have been released by this sergeant named Sergeant Scott. So we'll start with the story here, where she originally says this. My name is Sergeant Scott Jewell. I am stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. This email is in regards to some of the horrible things I have endured while being stationed at Fort Hood. These issues are unprofessional, unjust, and against all the Army's core values. I am asking that you please take the time to read through the documents that I have attached below. I have completely exhausted all of my resources at Fort Hood. However, holding leaders accountable is non-existent here. Repeatedly, it's been proven that Fort Hood cannot hold Fort Hood accountable. On multiple occasions, I have tried to speak with the brigade and post commander through the open door policy and was continuously denied. I am sending this message from a place of complete desperation. I'm hoping and praying that you will not only hear the concerns many other soldiers and I have endured or witnessed, but that you will conduct a paper and thorough investigation, ideally taking action, holding each and every individual accountable. Unfortunately, this is an ongoing situation, and there is much more evidence that I would like to provide and problems occurring daily that I was not able to send along with this email for security, safety, and time purposes. This is just the tip of the iceberg to illustrate a fraction of what has been occurring within my unit and chain of command. It has become a matter of life and death for me if no action is taken or no investigation is launched. I am unsure how much longer I will be alive. The pain is becoming intolerable and the weight has become too heavy. My next of kin has already been notified, and in 2 days I will be marked as AWOL. I can't return to work. I'm genuinely terrified for my life, whether it is a self-inflicted or external force. I am willing to speak with anyone concerning these matters. I'm concerned with no other options. Please help. She then goes on to say as well, before reading the attached documents, please click the link below that illustrate a small fraction of my time served prior to arriving at Fort Hood. You may or not be able to review the video, and quality may be varied depending on the device at which you're reviewing. It says here on the links, it says death to Maxwell, dead soldier at MP, made to feel uncomfortable. All these things that seem to be very controversial in nature per se. Now, it should be noted and not forgotten that Fort Hood was the home of where the Vanessa Guillen situation took place, where there was a situation where she was being assaulted by a fellow Army soldier, and then her life was taken. And essentially, it looks like, ever since then, Fort Hood was put on the map, and Vanessa Guillen was never actually found, and no one actually checked on her. Now, this situation is quite different.
Hi, I was just wondering if you got the chance to I have not, but I know you have an outspoken tomorrow, correct? Correct, I didn't want to have that call with him. I've spoken with him like for 5-6 times in the past 2-3 months. Okay, so I think what he wanted to first talk to Sergeant C about it. So if you do want to talk to General Reagan, he's just going to have to talk to your first sergeant as well. If you want to bring your first sergeant with you tomorrow. No, I don't want to bring him. Okay, so for that office tomorrow, just let him know that your intentions are to see, that you would like to see General Reagan. He'll let you know what you need for that. Because you do have to go through Sergeant Major first, just so that General Reagan is tracking as well. So I have to have this office call with him? So you just have to let him know, like, this is what I would like to do, and then just see what he says for when he's going to go talk to General Reagan. Because General Reagan is not tracking me at all, because I told Sergeant Major.
From the sounds of this recording here on April 4th, looks like she has requested to speak with some of the top leadership, but has not actually found anything to come of those initial conversations.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for coming to see me. So, Scott, how are you feeling?
First COVID, yes.
I'm sorry?
First COVID, yes, I'm
Something really okay. What is the purpose of shooting?
I would like to speak with procedure.
And what? Reference to what?
Just everything.
When you say everything,
The unit things that I've been encountering, the things that we talked about in the past on multiple occasions. Everything that we've spoken about and more. Yes.
Okay. So that's it then. I mean, what else would you talk about?
Nothing, Sergeant Major.
Yeah, I just want to speak to someone.
Now, it does look like the command over at Fort Hood has taken some awareness of what is being posted online by this sergeant, and they say on Facebook, "We are aware of the allegations and concerns raised by Sergeant Joel Scott. We take all allegations of misconduct seriously, and commanders will investigate and take action as appropriate. Sergeant Scott is safe and in the care of unit leadership. Our soldiers can always bring up concerns to the leadership, who will take appropriate action commensurate with Army standards." Now, this sergeant is now calling out Fort Hood and saying, this is all a cover-up. This is all a lie. And she says, quotations, "This is a lie. I am not in the, quotations, care of my leadership. The last time I've spoken to my leadership was when they had me illegally arrested by undercovers and taken to the hospital. The hospital discharged me soon after, as it's very obvious to everyone, even the social workers, what's truly going on. My leadership begged them to keep me there after repeatedly being told no by medical professionals. You have not taken one single step to ensure my safety or investigate anything, even when provided hard evidence. Instead, after sending out this email as a cry for help, after 11 months of fighting this corrupt system and leadership, you had me hawked down like a criminal, arrested and harassed. After being discharged from the hospital, y'all had multiple police show up at my door in my First Sergeant DeBrill at 3 a.m. threatening me of what's going to happen if I leave my room, that I'm not restricted to. I couldn't even use a bathroom without someone standing inside of my room, outside of my bathroom door. That was the last time I spoke with my leadership. 2 days later, I was informed that I would be discharged in 10 days for misconduct. What makes it even worse is that they didn't even want to tell me under what conditions of what for. I had to find out the hard way." And she says, "Our soldiers can always bring their concerns to leadership." And she says, "This is a complete lie. I was denied my right to the open door policy multiple times and have audio to prove each time. No action has been taken except the disgusting efforts to shut me up and discharge me. You will be held accountable for the pain that myself and many other soldiers have endured and lost their lives over. More evidence to come. Thanks for your support and love, everyone." She has been followed essentially and been flagged down, as she does do a live stream of her being arrested at the front gate, where she was brought in by somebody else driving her for her own sake. And she does have her command, which, mind you, was the command being called that was the command she was trying to leave, or that she was actually removed from due to her concerns. Now, through all this, it was kind of wish-washy of what was happening, but we did narrow this down. It does look like this was a sharp complaint, because she does have video of this gold, like, suburban type SUV that's following her, and says that some of these guys that she has no idea who they are, she has a case against them, but they are looking to track her down over at her barracks room, and she doesn't feel safe being anywhere.
Whatever. After I filed the complaint, and I ended up being the one arrested, and these people has been following me nonstop. They won't stop following me. I told them I was going to meet them at the company, whatever the case may be. And they still follow me everywhere I'm going. They're literally walking into the buildings behind me as if I did something wrong, or if I got some type of order where I should be being followed. But this is what I mean by harassment. I just want y'all to see this. I'm going to keep it recording.
I don't know who that is, though. They got their OCPs on, so hopefully it is. A car full of soldiers.
They're not supposed to be near me. They still coming, pulling up to my place. They still coming. It ain't stopping. The harassment is still going. They literally just have a sharp harassment on a sharp complaint on them, and they still pulling up in front of my barracks. I don't know what for. I don't know why. They still pulling up in front of my barracks. They bagged them to keep me at the precinct. This is what.
She also does share the account with her leadership knocking at her door, or some of the military police, and this is what it shows.
Sergeant Scott? Are you Sergeant Scott? You get released from credential today?
Yes. Yes.
Can you come out and talk to us, please? What is you're supposed to link up with your chain of command?
They came. The hospital said that she is not to be escorted.
Who?
The hospital, and he sat right there trying to prevent them. Once they told me I was released, I have my discharge papers and everything.
I know. So they just been looking for you because they didn't know where you were.
They're lying. They know where my room is at.
Yes, but they
They
said
know
you
I stay
didn't
on
answer.
base. They never called me.
And then Matt's on call, she said the VC is tracking that you want to see the CG. that the BC is going to talk to and make sure that you get, but you're probably not going to see the CG. It's going to be based on Command Sergeant Major from 13th, whether you see the BC, whether you see the CG. And that's how that's going to happen, but they are tracking that.
All right. So leader.
And what's crazy about this is there is a poster that someone has shared that says essentially that she was missing. And it looks like there's a couple different messages on it that says, "That's crazy as F. Please stop listening to this false narrative. It has not been one day where they have not contacted nor seen me within 24 hours. That's what they want y'all to think, that I went AWOL." And it looks like only 19 hours ago as well, Fort Hood has actually made another statement because this has spun so much out of control on social media. And they say, "Our number one priority is the safety and well-being of Sergeant Scott. Commanders have the responsibility to investigate all allegations made by any of their soldiers. We have process, and commanders will hold a soldier or leader accountable if their behavior is found through due process to be a short of Army standards," said Colonel Matt Rudy, Deputy Commander of 13 ESC. The leadership across 13th Expeditionary Sustainment Command says they took immediate action by initiating a review of all Sergeant Scott's concerns and allegations. Sergeant Scott has been assigned a female NCO escort who she can access 24/7. A senior investigating officer that is external to her command will be appointed for an administrative investigation. In addition, Sergeant Scott was provided with the opportunity to file a report with the Army's Criminal Investigation Division, CID for short. Leadership remains in contact with Sergeant Scott to ensure her health and safety. Sergeant Scott has raised concerns about her being separated from the Army. While we cannot comment on whether she is or is not being separated, we can say that any soldier being administratively separated is entitled to a full due process under the law, to include counsel from an attorney. We will continue to share as much information as possible about this case as it develops. Do you guys think this is Fort Hood just being Fort Hood and wants a silencer, as we've known the controversy over there to be quite in depth over the past couple years? Or do you think that she might be off the rails and might have her own issues? I mean, obviously this is all speculation one way or another.